is your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your voice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. The voting process. Streams and queuing. Some polling stations have 2 or more streams depending on the number of voters. Streams are divided according to names of voters in alphabetical order. For examples, A to N and M to Z. When a voter arrives at the polling station, they go to the entrance and check if there are streams. If there are streams, they will identify their stream by following the alphabetical order of names in each stream or be directed by an usher. Step 1. Identification of streams and queuing. Step 2. Identification of voters. Step 3. Inking. Step 4. Issuance of ballot papers. Step 5. Marking of the ballot paper. Step 6. Placing ballot papers in the ballot boxes. Step 7. The voter walks out of the polling station. Persons allowed in the polling station. Members and staff of ECZ, accredited monitors and observers, polling staff, accredited election agents and media, voters, candidates. Marking your ballot paper correctly. A ballot paper must be marked with an X in the square to the right of the candidate of one's choice. Spoiled ballot papers. If a voter wrongly marks, spoils, or tears a ballot paper, they can ask the presiding officer for a new one or replacement. What not to do with the ballot paper. A voter shall not write their name on the ballot paper, write their signature or any mark that may identify them on the ballot paper, place a mark on more than one candidate or write anything else except for the mark X. Leave the ballot paper unmarked. Remove the ballot paper from the polling station and come with a ballot paper or any other paper from outside the polling station.
It is your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your vote. It is your choice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. Who are we voting for? A. At national level, we vote for the president. B. At constituency level, we vote for a member of parliament. C. At district level, we vote for mayor or council chairperson. D. At ward level, we vote for a councillor. The electoral systems in Zambia. The electoral systems in Zambia are in two folds, where A. Majoritarian system, presidential election. The election of the president is conducted directly under a majoritarian system where the winning candidate must receive more than 50% of the valid votes cast. However, if at the initial ballot or first election, none of the presidential candidate gets more than 50% of the valid votes cast, a second ballot will be held within 37 days of the initial ballot or first election. In this election, only the candidates with the highest and second highest number of valid votes cast in the initial ballot will be the candidates. In other words, if 5 candidates contest the first election in which 2 million valid votes were cast and obtained the following results. Candidate 1, valid votes 940,000, percentage 47. Candidate 2, valid votes 680,000, percentage 34. Candidate 3, valid votes 300,000, percentage 15. Candidate 4, valid votes 70,000, percentage 3.5. Candidate 5, valid votes 10,000, percentage 0.5. Total votes cast 2 million, percentage 100. From the example above, the candidate with the highest number of votes got 47%, while the second one got 34%. This means none of them got more than 50%. Therefore, the top 2 will contest in the second ballot, meaning that the last 3 candidates who are below the first and second candidates will not contest in the second ballot. Even where the top 2 candidates obtained equal number of valid votes cast, the 2 will go for the second ballot. Presidential running mate. A presidential candidate appoints a running mate. This means that a vote cast for the president is also a vote for the running mate. The presidential running mate takes office on the same day as the president. Vacancy in the office of the Republican president. If the position of Republican president falls vacant for any reason, there will be no presidential election as the vice president will be sworn in as the president. This is because the vice president was a running mate who was elected alongside the president. B. First past the post, simple majority system. Elections for members of parliament, mayors or council chairpersons and councillors. Elections for members of parliament, mayors or council chairpersons and councillors are conducted under the first past the post or simple majority system. This means that the candidate who gets the highest number of votes cast in an election wins, regardless of the total percentage of votes the candidate received. From the example given in A, under the first past the post, the candidate who got 47% of the valid votes cast would be declared elected member of parliament, mayor, council chairperson, or councillor.
It is your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your voice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. Voting of persons with special needs. Assistance to vote. Some voters require assistance to vote. These include expectant mothers, persons with disabilities, the aged, and the illiterate. Procedures for assisting people with special needs. A. If a voter has a special need, they should ask a person whom they trust, who should be a relative or friend, to assist them. B. The person who is to offer assistance must possess a green national registration card and should be above the age of 18 years. C. The person offering assistance is only allowed to assist one voter. D. The person helping must be approached or asked by the voter requiring assistance to vote. E. If the voter requiring assistance does not have a trusted friend or relative, then the presiding officer can offer assistance. F. The presiding officer will announce who is helping the voter, a relative or friend, and will indicate in the voter's register that the voter has been assisted. Expectant mothers allowed to go to the front of the queue. Persons with disabilities allowed to go to the front of the queue, may need assistance to enter the polling station, assistance in some aspects of voting, in particular with marking their ballot papers. The aged allowed to go to the front of the queue. Illiterate, assistance with marking a ballot paper. Using the ballot paper jacket. The ballot paper jacket or template for voters who are blind is aimed at ensuring that a voter makes a personal choice while maintaining the secrecy of the ballot during the voting process. Before giving the ballot paper jacket to a visually impaired voter, the presiding or assistant presiding officer should ask the visually impaired voter if they would like to use the ballot paper jacket to enable them mark the ballot paper in privacy. Step 1. If the voter states that he or she would like to use the ballot paper jacket, the presiding or assistant presiding officer will A. Briefly explain to the voter how to use the ballot paper jacket. B. Advise the voter that the rectangular holes in the ballot paper jacket will match the places on the ballot paper where they are required to place an X against the name of the candidate they wish to vote for. C. Advise the voter not to reveal who they wish to vote for. D. Explain to the voter that the names and party affiliations of each candidate will be read out to him or her in the order of appearance on the ballot paper. E. Tell the voter how many candidates are on the ballot paper. F. Advise the voter to allow all the names to be read out even if their candidate is read out first. And G. Advise the voter that he or she should make a mental note of the position of the candidate that he or she wishes to vote for when she or he hears that candidate's name. Step 2. Once the voter has understood the instructions, the presiding or assistant presiding officer will read out the name of each candidate by A. First stating the position or number on the ballot paper. B. Following the name of the candidate as it appears on the ballot paper. And C. Stating the party which the candidate is representing or the word independent if the candidate is an independent candidate. Step 3. The voter will then be asked if he or she knows the position or number of the candidate of their choice. If the voter indicates that he or she has understood, the presiding or assistant presiding officer will A. Fold the ballot paper in half and half again, then unfold it. B. Advise the voter that the ballot paper has folds on it and that he or she can refold it after marking it to ensure that it is folded correctly. C. Advise the voter to remove the ballot paper from the ballot paper jacket once she or he has voted and to fold the ballot paper along the same folds before they leave the booth. D. Place the ballot paper in the ballot paper jacket. E. Hand the ballot paper jacket to the voter. And F. Assist the voter to the polling booth and ensure the voter locates the pen. The voter should be assisted from the polling booth to the ballot boxes to enable him or herself to cast the ballot paper into the appropriate ballot box themselves. Note: in case of more than one type of election happening